Hey everybody, today I want to take a look at this. This is the Sergison K-frame for Sheridan-based markers. These frames are aftermarket trigger frames for Sheridan-based markers. They're made by one guy, Dan Sergison. These replace the stock trigger frame on Sheridan or Palmer's markers and also replace the end cap or RVA. These are made in two different sizes. This is the Palmer's length, which has a longer front in front of the trigger guard itself because the screw pattern that holds the frame onto Palmer's markers is longer than the screw pattern for Sheridan-based markers like the PGP or the PMI-1. So there's two different lengths. The Sheridan one has a slightly shorter front part. It goes about to here. The Palmer's one's a little bit longer to account for the extra length to the front frame screw. In either case, this replaces the stock trigger frame and also the end cap or RVA. So you can see it actually comes up over the back of the marker and not only replaces the frame, but also this end cap for the lower tube. So this part right here functions as an RVA. See, it's got a screw in there. It's very well designed. It can actually come off so you can remove the RVA end cap part from the bottom part to remove the frame from the marker, or you can just unscrew this and then kind of pop it out. Either way works. Adding a K-frame to your Sheridan-based marker obviously is going to change it in a pretty substantial way. It's going to move the trigger frame back a few inches so you could see what the difference is there. It's not a lot, maybe 3.5, maybe 4 inches from where the trigger was with the stock frame to where it is with the K-frame. It's not a whole lot of movement, but it's enough to pretty significantly change the balance and ergonomics of the marker. Obviously, the marker is going to be a lot longer with the K-frame relative to the stock frame because it sticks out beyond where the end cap ends by a couple of inches. Because of that, the balance of the marker changes pretty substantially to the point where a marker like this really doesn't feel like a pistol anymore. That's not the case for smaller markers like a PGP. A K-frame on a PGP seems to retain that pistol feeling much better than a K-frame on something like a Pug or a PMI-1, something longer. It's certainly not a P68 stock class, which really isn't much of a pistol to begin with, but you get the idea. These frames are quite expensive. I'm not sure off the top of my head what the price is new, but used you see them going for anywhere about $150 to $180, maybe $200. This one's nickel plated. I got this with a marker, so it was a little bit cheaper, but if I had gotten this by itself with the nickel plating, that would have been extra because I believe the nickel plating was done at Palmer's and then that costs extra money. These are pretty expensive. They're made one at a time by one person, so they are not cheap accessories, but they are highly sought after and a lot of people really like them. My take, because I have this Pug from Palmer's Pursuit Shop, is that I prefer the stock frame because, as I said, it changes the balance and makes the marker significantly longer, and in the case of a marker like this, not very pistol-like. However, if I had a PGP, I feel like then I might prefer the K-frame because the PGP is a very compact marker to begin with, so adding a few inches of length isn't going to remove that pistol feel from it, and it would probably improve the ergonomics rather than make them worse in my case, as is the case with this marker. So that's the Sergison K-frame for Sheridan-based paintball markers. It is a really cool, highly sought after aftermarket trigger frame. Thanks for watching. See you next time.